So I'm hosting this party. I have a bunch of people over at my house. This party specifically.
So you're kissing me.
And I noticed, oh shit, I forgot to take down all my cheesy ass self-improvement, motivational shit that I have on my wall. And I set these social goals for myself and I'll put it up on my wall, right? Like talk to this many girls or use touch with people this many times, talk to this many strangers in a day. And I have all this shit up on my wall. And I still do actually. It looks kind of like this. But I forgot to take all of that down and everyone's over at my house. There are people in my room right now looking at all of these things that I completely forgot about. And at this point, I'm just like, I feel this little bit of fear in me, this cringe feeling. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's too late now. We're just going to live with it. We're going to see how the night goes. And even though I feel vulnerable at this point, I'm like trying to keep it off my mind as much as I can. And we have a few drinks in us now. We're having a good time. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It doesn't really matter. No one's really going to notice. No one's really actually thinking about me, looking at me, you know, spotlight effect kind of shit. Everyone's too worried about themselves to really be reading the notes on my wall. And then this girl comes out of my room and says, Luke, I just read every sticky note on your wall. And I'm like, oh no, oh God, no. And then she looks me in the eye and she says, Luke, you are cool as fuck. I saw all the motivational shit. I saw the goals with girls, saw the goals with people, and you are such an incredible person to know. And she even wrote this note on my mirror. And in this moment when she's saying this to me, I have this realization. It fucking hits me, bro. This is what it means to be confident. It means not hiding any part of your personality, not being ashamed of any single part of your life. And it is key to becoming the most charming person in any room. And after this night, it was almost like I was on this next level of living. It's like I wasn't afraid of showing this part of myself anymore. I wasn't afraid of showing this ambitious side of myself, this side that sets goals, this side that is cheesy as fuck sometimes. Because I realized that every thought that I have, every instinct, every aspiration that I have, it makes sense. It's not fucking weird. It's not unusual. It makes sense for the exact experiences, the exact life that I've gone through, my personality type. It makes fucking sense. And once I had this like earth-shattering realization of what confidence really is, it's like I was just kind of living life on this next level. I was no longer afraid of showing any part of myself, of saying anything. And it has served me well, bro. And time again, it's like I'm almost charming on accident now. And I don't say this to like spit on my own dick or like boost my own ego, except, you know, maybe a little bit. But I tell you this story because I want you to know that I haven't always been how you see me now. I used to be so fucking awkward and uncharismatic and unconfident. But I learned a few things, specifically these 5 keys that I'm about to show you to become the most charming person in any room. But before we get into these exact steps, we have to know what has been holding you back until now. The very first thing is that you are afraid to polarize. Psychologically, we all have this fear of being kicked out of the tribe, right? Because we evolved to want to be part of something, to be part of this tribe, and being kicked out means death. Because back in caveman days, it actually did mean death, right? You wouldn't be able to get all the resources you need to survive on your own. We needed the tribe to survive, so we have these mechanisms wired in us to fit in. But the world that we live in now is not fucking caveman times, bro. The only way that you're able to stand out and be confident and be charismatic is by being unafraid to show every part of yourself. And this means the parts of yourself that might be a little bit dark, a little bit unsavory, or maybe just plain embarrassing, quote unquote embarrassing to you. The parts of yourself that other people might not like. But the only way that you're going to be the most charming person in any room is by being unafraid to show these parts of yourself. Because whenever you just show this mask that you present to other people, that you have been presenting for years now, the problem with that is you're pretty universally liked, right? Most people think, oh yeah, Luke's a pretty cool guy. He's a decent fellow, but I didn't really get to know him. I don't really know him that well. If this is the kind of thing that you've been hearing over and over again, or honestly, more likely, you haven't been hearing anything because people don't really think about you. You don't make much of an impact. It's because you're not showing yourself. And as soon as you do start to show these parts of yourself, these weird hobbies or interests that you might be into, these jokes that everyone might not think are funny, as soon as you do, you're going to have some people that might not like you. Probably about 10 to 20% of people that you meet just might not really vibe with you. And that's good. This is a good thing because this is a sign that you're finding the people who really fuck with you. Because the only way that you're going to find your day one hundo cent homies is if you also find the 10 to 15 to 20% of people who are going to be haters. and that's okay. You have to stop having this fear of criticism because it's holding you back from living the social life that you actually want to live. Alex Hormozi is like this entrepreneur online, right? He provides a lot of entrepreneurship advice. You probably know him. But basically, he gets a lot of hate online for what he does. And the way that he deals with it is by thinking every single time that someone has some kind of hate or critical opinion of him, the only way that he translates that is, I do not agree with the way that you're living. I would not live my life in the way that you do. Okay, great. Because that's all their opinion is, bro. It's an opinion. It's not truth. The way they see the world isn't perfect. It just is the way that you see the world isn't perfect. It's not any way better than yours or more accurate. It's probably a lot less accurate, actually. Cold, hard fact is the only thing that is true about their hate is the fact that they wouldn't live your life the way that you live it. Okay, great. I wouldn't live my life the way that you live yours. Perfect. You're not me and I'm not you, so this is a good thing. As soon as you start to take any form of criticism, any form of hate, just as I wouldn't live my life the way you do, you can see it for what it really is. Projection. Other people projecting what they want out of life onto you, or the things that they don't like about themselves onto you. And what does that matter? It doesn't. Stop taking it personally. Now that you've overcome the base fear that's been holding you back until now, let's understand the foundation of all of this. What is becoming the most charismatic guy in any room built upon? It's built upon the fact that every group of people that you're in, any room, any group project, any time that you were buddied up with people at work, right? These groups form a leader every single time. People naturally do this because we're hardwired to subconsciously. And the more that you start to learn about charisma, the deeper that you get into this world that we're in, the more that you start to realize that charm isn't just talking smooth. It's leadership. And leaders polarize. The way that you become the kind of guy that people look up to, the kind of guy who has people's attention, the kind of guy that is charming as fuck, is by being a leader among them. And people naturally look for this leader in every group situation they're in by looking for leadership skills, right? We naturally have this smell, this sense. They can smell it on you, whether you were a leader or not. And everyone in every group always follows the person with the highest leadership skill. And of course, there's going to be some people in this group who don't agree with how that leader acts, and they're going to go do their own thing, right? They're going to veer off. But for the most part, people just follow whatever the person with the highest leadership skill does. He calls the shots, and they think, okay, yeah, let's do it. You notice this in every friend group, right? There's usually one or two people who are kind of calling the shots among everything. You notice this in every work group, right? Every time that you've been on a group project, there's usually one person either doing most of the work or at least calling the shots. And the really cool thing is you don't have to be born a leader. No one is. You build the skill over time. So you're not going to be the most charming person in the room tomorrow, but maybe next week you're going to be a bit more charming. And maybe the week after, you're going to notice, oh shit, people are starting to look up to me. This is a new feeling. This feels fucking good. Now it's my responsibility to help them lead their lives the best way they can. And I will tell you, bro, it feels fucking good to be a leader. So how do you start having people recognize this leadership skill that you have? How do you build the skill of leadership? Well, it's with the 5 keys to becoming a charismatic leader. And the very first one is decisive guidance. I'm going to apply this to friend groups and dating, right? Because I assume that's what most of you are going to connect with. But apply this to any part of your life that you see fit, work, family, whatever it is. So anytime that you are in a situation with a group of people, let's say you're in this friend group, you start being the guy to call the shots. Don't ask to call the shots. Just start deciding on places to go. Meaning, you come up with the plans. You come up with things to do. If your homies are like, what do y'all want to do this weekend? You be the guy who says, let's go see this movie. Let's go do this thing at this time. Because whenever you start being a decisive guy, you're going to have this fear that comes up where it's like, what if people don't want to do what I want to do? What if I make the wrong choice? Okay, bro, the people around you are fucking adults. If they don't want to do the same thing as you, they're going to tell you. They're just going to speak up and you can pivot. You can do something else. Being a leader isn't about telling people what to do. It's about taking in all of the opinions, all the information around you and making the best decision. The only thing that you are changing now is that you are becoming the guy to make that decision rather than letting other people struggle with it. Because what you were doing is you were taking the burden of decision making off of other people. Because most people don't want to decide, bro. Most people don't want to be a leader. If you're watching content like this, you probably do. Take that burden off of other people, especially on dates, bro. Don't have the girl decide between Chinese or takeout or Thai food, Greek food. Be the kind of guy who says, listen, I just tried this Thai place. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was amazing. You have to try it. Let's go. And if she really doesn't want to, she will tell you. But by being this kind of a guy, you take that pressure, that burden off of other people, and you start being a charismatic leader. The second key to becoming the most charming guy in any room is differentiation, meaning do not treat people the same. Treating people the same is shit advice. I might be the first person to tell you this because in the education system we grew up in, we were pretty much brainwashed with equality to make sure that we treat every person the exact same. Equality is a truth, right? It's the fact of life. No one person is more valuable than the other, but people are different, bro. Treat them based on their differences, right? Like, don't be racist or shit. But if someone is more capable and skilled in one area than another person, treat them as such. If someone is very inward and shy, meet them where they're at. If someone is very boisterous, outgoing, confident, become boisterous with them, bro. Meet them where they are at. Treating people differently based on personality traits means that you are using emotional intelligence, right? It makes people feel seen. It makes people feel really connected to. The next key is congruency. Whenever you start being this more confident version of yourself, whenever you start calling the shots, taking the position of leadership, if your body language does not match your words, right, people immediately sense something is off. They sense that you are incongruent, that you are somehow, quote unquote, lying, right? Because imagine if I came up to you and I was like, hey, let's all go out to eat at this place. Bro, it makes it seem like I'm almost hiding something from you, like I'm trying to be something that I'm not. Overcome this by being congruent in your words and your body language, right? Your body language has to match with the new tone, with the new words that you were about to express, by conveying a mix of warmth and power. And I got absolutely razzed for this in the comments last time I mentioned it, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it helped me a lot. Is thinking about your body language in the terms of the alpha gorilla, right? How the fuck does the alpha gorilla act? Does he care about spreading out his arms? Does he care if his arm bumps someone else? No, the fuck he doesn't. Bro walks tall, his shoulders back and his back straight. You want to mix this powerful body posture with also warmth, right? So think of yourself as like the friendly alpha gorilla. The fourth key is presence. No, I'm not about to tell you to meditate, even though you should. The best way that you can think about this is pretend that whenever you were talking to someone, that their words back to you are the only thing in the world that matters. Nothing else matters right now except you and this one person. When you give someone this level of attention, it is addicting. I'll tell you a quick story about this. Whenever I was in high school, there was this one girl who was like, she was alright, right? She's not really my type of attractive, but we were about to play tennis together, us and a group of people, and this is the first time I really talked to her, but she came up to me and she was like, so Luke, what time are we playing tennis later tonight? And she just looked at me in this way that like nothing else in the world mattered. And I was like, I guess 5. And she was like, okay, great. Are you excited? Again, just looking at me with this absolute presence. And like, I was just dumbfounded, bro. And she wasn't checking her phone. She didn't have anything else on her mind. It was like you could tell that I was the only thing in the world that mattered to her at that exact moment. And I was just dumbfounded, bro. I literally couldn't speak. I was like, yeah. Yes, I'm excited. Because think about it, bro. How often do people give you this level of presence where it feels like it's just you and them? They're not thinking about checking their phone. They're not thinking about what's coming up next. They're not thinking about this project that they're working on. It's just you. That never fucking happens. When you're able to give this to someone, it's next level connecting. Start using this with every person in the room and you'll be surprised how fast people just start to hang on to you. The fifth key that's going to lead you to be the most charming person in any room is raising the energy level. Fact is, people want to have fun. People want to raise their energy. And I'm not just talking about some like hippie woo-woo bullshit energy. I'm talking about energy, bro. If you are at a party, you bring the energy. If you're at the library, you bring the energy. The way that I like to think about it is wherever you're at, parse out the energy level on a scale of 1 to 10. If you're at the library, it's probably an energy level of 1. There's no one talking. Everyone's quiet. Everyone's whispering. Be the guy who brings it in at a 2. Go up to the girl and say, hey, is that 50 Shades of Grey that you're reading? Or if you're at a party, at a concert, be the guy who's getting hype, bro. Get someone up on your shoulders, dude. By being the person who's raising the energy level by 1 and having fun in any situation that you are in, any room, any group, you are going to be the kind of guy that people naturally gravitate towards because other people are going to think, what is he doing that's so fun? I want in on that. So practically, how do you put these 5 keys into place? It's by taking action steps, bro, by gamifying charisma. When you start to look at it like a sport, like you have to get the reps in, just like you do in the gym, you start setting these social goals for yourself of talk to this many people today, use this specific charismatic tactic 3 times this week. Whenever you start setting these finite exact goals for yourself, you start to progress faster than anyone else who just reads how to win friends and influence people. And my final point, probably the biggest takeaway that you can get from this, is do read charisma books, but create your own action steps from them. Create things that you take out of the book and do in real life. Even from videos, bro, from videos like this, what are ways, real action steps that you can take from these 5 keys that I just gave you? If you want a pretty great book to level up your charisma skill, maybe I'm a little biased, but I wrote an ebook. I usually sell it for like $10, but I'm giving it away to you for free. And it literally has action steps. Check out chapter 7, bro. Step 7, mastering action. I literally put together a list of action steps for you to take one after the other for you to become this charismatic self step by step. And it doesn't even have to be my ebook, bro. It can be anyone's book. Mine just makes it really easy. But the main thing I want you to take away is to get the fucking reps in. Overcome your fear of judgment. Start to polarize people, and you're going to get comfortable with it. Start learning. Start setting your own goals and hitting them, and act now and become unstoppable.